Dear children, good morning. Today I am going to teach you in my YouTube channel why do we need a parliament. This is a continuation of the theme of government that has already been dealt within the class 6 and 7 textbooks. Already we studied about democracy, equality and parliament, constitution, etc. Okay. Uh, this chapter of the civics book class 8 discusses the functions of a parliament and how it is connected to the idea of democracy in elections. This chapter features on the need for a parliament in a country. It also talks about the role of people in choosing their representatives in a democracy. Okay. Now, dear children, let me explain the central idea of this lesson. That is chapter 3. Why do we need a parliament? Okay. So, these are all the points to remember. After a long struggle, we got independence in 1947. During national struggle, policies of the British were openly criticized. Demands like elected representatives to legislature, discuss budget, etc. were made. Government of India Act 1909 allowed elected representatives, but their powers were limited. When the India got freedom, our aspirations were made concrete in our constitution. It laid down the principle of universal adult franchise. Can you understand? Okay, in a universal adult franchise, about this we discussed in class 7 and 6. In a democratic government, individuals exercise their power through elections. Parliament is a supreme representative authority. Constitution gave the right to Indian citizens elect our parliament. You know very well, parliament has two houses. One is Lok Sabha, another one is Rajya Sabha. Okay, Lok Sabha is elected for 5 years. Candidates belong to different political parties or independent, contest from different constituencies. Okay. Last year we conducted mock polls, election campaigning, that is several things we demonstrated in our last year classes. Elected members are called MPs. What is the full form for MP? Member of Parliaments. Majority party forms the government and elects their leaders or prime minister of the nation. In case of no majority party, this coalition is formed. Coalition means making an alliance. The main function of parliament is to legislate, elect national government, control financial matters, control the executive. Okay. The representative democracy should have a representation of SC, ST and women. This is the central idea of this lesson. Okay. Now, dear children, why do we need a parliament? Oh, you answer now. What is the importance of parliament for Indian citizens? Yes, parliament is very important for Indian citizens because it gives them the opportunity to participate in decision making and control of government. Parliament is most important symbol of Indian democracy and a key feature of the constitution. Okay, can you understand? Okay. Now, why should people decide? Yes, India, as we know, became independent on 15th August 1947. This was a long and difficult struggle in which many sections of society participated. People from various backgrounds joined the struggle and they were inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality and participation decision making. Under colonial rule, the people had lived in fear of the British government and did not agree with many of the decisions that they took. But they faced grave danger if they tried to criticize these decisions. The freedom movement changed the situation. The nationalists began to openly criticize the British government and make demands. As far back as 1885, the Indian National Congress demanded that there be elected members in the legislature with the right to discuss the budget and ask questions. The Government of India Act 1909 allowed for some elected representation, while these early legislators under the British government were in response to the growing demands of the nationalists. Okay, so they did not allow for all adults to vote, nor could people participate in decision making. Okay, now in class 6 and 7 we discussed about the what is government and what is democracy. Okay, so what is universal adult franchise, these things we discussed. In class 8 chapter 1 we discussed about the experience of colonial rule as well as the participation of different people in the struggle for freedom. Okay, so that left little doubt in the minds of the nationalists that all persons in independent India would be able to participate in making decisions. With the coming of independence, we were going to be citizens of a free country. This did not mean that the government could do what it felt like. It meant that the government had to be sensitive to people's needs and demands. Okay, so that dreams and aspirations of freedom struggle were made concrete in the Constitution of Independent India that laid down the principle of universal adult franchise. Okay, what do you mean by the term universal adult franchise? UAF. Yes. UAF means universal adult franchise. According to this, every one of 18 years and above, irrespective of caste, color, creed, religion or sex, has a right to vote. That is, that all the adult citizens of the country have the right to vote. Can you understand? So at present we are using the voting machine. Okay, that is EVMs. EVMs are electronic voting machines. These were used for the first time in 2004 throughout the country. Their usage saved 1,50,000 trees, which would have been cut to produce 8,000 tons of paper for ballots. Okay, so EVMs are used. In class 6 and 7, we discussed about the democracy. Can you define the term democracy? Democracy is a form of government of the people, by the people and for the people. Okay, so for that, representative democracy is a form of government in which people elect the governments. A government take decisions and make laws through their elected representatives. Example is democracy in India. At present we follow the election system every 5 years. Once we face elections, people can choose their representatives. Suffrage means right to vote, is termed as suffrage. Universal adult franchise, it's a voting right in which all adults take part in voting and electing their government, is called universal adult franchise. Okay, democracy is a form of government of the people, by the people and for the people. Okay, now what is take-off point for a democracy? That is a take-off means it's a beginning. It is a take-off point for a democracy is the idea of consent. That is the desire, approval of participation of people. Okay. So it is the decision of people that creates democratic government. It decides about its functioning. The basic idea in this kind of democracy is that a citizen is the most important person, and that in principle the government along with other public institutions need to have the trust of the citizens. Okay, now you tell me, how does the individual give approval to the government? What way we are conveying, what method we convey our feelings? Through the elections, people elect their representatives to the parliament. After this, one group form among these elected representatives forms the government. The parliament, which is made up of all representatives together, controls and guides the government. Thus, people through their chosen representatives form the government. They also control it. Okay. Now, they depicted this picture in your textbook, page number 32. This photo shows election staff using an elephant to carry polling material and electronic voting machines to polling stations located in difficult terrain. Okay, so look at this picture. Next one is parliament. Now that is the role of the parliament. Parliament, it's a union legislature or parliament, constitutes the president and two houses of Rajya Sabha. That is the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house, and another one is Lok Sabha. Okay, so that Rajya Sabha is the council of states and the Lok Sabha is the house of the people, which is the lower house. The legislature that has two houses called a bicameral legislature. Members of either house are referred to the members of parliament, MPs. Now, dear children, the parliament consists of a president, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In previous classes, we discussed about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and role of the parliament also. Okay, so the Indian parliament is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in the principles of democracy. The parliament in our system has immense powers because it is the representative of the people. The Lok Sabha is elected for every 5 years. The country is divided into a number of these constituencies. Each of these constituencies elect one person to the parliament. Okay, this is the Lok Sabha. Once elected, the candidates become members of parliament or MPs. These MPs together make up the parliament. Okay, so as per our constitution, the Lok Sabha can have 552 members at present. However, it has 545 members. Of these, 543 are elected by the people, while 2 are nominated by the president from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, now Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha, I told you, the Council of States, which is the upper circuit. Next one is constituency. Each state and union territories, UT means union territories, elects a fixed number of representatives to the Lok Sabha. The number is decided on the basis of the population of the state. Each state divides into parts called constituencies, and the people of each constituency elect one member. This means that the number of constituencies in a state is equal to the number of representatives from the state. Okay, so in general elections or election to the Lok Sabha are held every 5 years, which means that the members are elected for the term of 5 years. Elections can held earlier if the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Dissolved means dismissed by the president before the end of this term. This usually happens when the ruling party or the party that forms the government loses majority in the parliament. Elections can also be delayed by 1 year if parliament extends the term of Lok Sabha during the emergency or some national crisis. Any Indian who is 18 years and above has the right to vote. People vote by secret ballot. In other words, each voter polls his or her vote in complete privacy so that no one knows who or she has voted for. The candidate who gets the maximum number of votes in a constituency becomes a representative of that constituency in the Lok Sabha. Okay, now let us see the eligibility to stand for elections. Any citizen of India can stand for a Lok Sabha election provided he or she is not less than 25 years of age, mentally unstable, or a salaried government employee. Okay, these people are not eligible for that. A candidate standing for an election does not have to belong to a political party. Candidates who are not backed by any political party are known as independent candidates. It is mandatory for every citizen, every candidate to have a symbol so that people may vote by recognizing the symbol. Candidates belonging to parties use their respective party symbols while independents use their own party. Okay. So that maximum strength of the house allotted by the Constitution of India is 552. Currently the house has 543 seats, which is made by the election of up to 543 elected members and at a maximum. So now we'll talk about if coalition. What is coalition? Coalition is a temporary alliance of parties. Generally, after elections, when no one gets majority, no party gets majority, no political party gets majority, an alliance of political parties is formed called coalition, which forms the government. Okay, so can you understand this, children? Dear children, we will do the rest of this chapter in our next video. Stay connected. I hope you all have enjoyed my teaching. After seeing this video, you take your textbook and read pages 30 to 37. Thank you. Be thankful for this day. Start the day by expressing our gratitude to each other. Have a tremendous Thursday, children. Stay blessed.